There's an interesting situation happening right now in Berea, and that is one Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is holding out. He's wanting a new contract. Tristan, Amari Cooper just turned 30 years old, right? So I think a lot of people have this vision in their head that Amari Cooper's like 34 just because he was playing on the Raiders when they were in Oakland. But he is 30 years old, been with the Browns for 2 years in Cleveland. Before I hand it over to you, I want to give everybody at home the stats real fast. Amari Cooper in his first year in Cleveland, 1,160 yards, 9 touchdowns. Last year, 1,250 yards, 5 touchdowns. So that has been Amari Cooper's time here in Cleveland. Tristan, what do you think about Amari Cooper holding out? Do you think the Browns should give him a new contract? How do you see this all playing out? What do you want, and what do you think should happen here?
What I want is for Amari Cooper to retire as a Cleveland Brown. I think that what he has been able to provide since being here has been something that we have been lacking for a very, very long time. And certainly haven't had it consistently, that's the word, since the reincarnation of the Browns. I think that Amari Cooper absolutely deserves every single penny that he's asking for. I truly do. I just can't say enough good words about the guy. You know, how often do you see receivers that aren't crying when they're not getting the ball, always work hard, like are always leading by example, and just always produce, are always there for you. You know, and that's what Amari Cooper has been for us here, and we haven't had that. For me, I think it's simple. I think that Amari Cooper, I think he deserves to be a Cleveland Brown for the rest of his career. Now, what will happen? I don't know, because at the same time, you know, when we look at it purely from an analytical side of it, forget the name of Amari Cooper. It's a 30-year-old receiver, and there's not many of those guys that are able to really produce very long after that. So you got to be careful with the contract that you give him. You know, it's not like he's got another 5 years left in him. I think we'd be lucky if we got 2 more high-quality years left in him. You know, maybe I think he could give us 3, at least like number 1/number 2 type of receiver years. You know, but again, like it's a risk. It's a very big risk where he's at in his career. He's played a lot of football. You never know what his body's been going through and where we're at with him. But he's a key piece, you know, and I would like to see him back, and I'd like to see him eventually retire as a Brown. I understand that might not be possible, but that's what I would like to see. But regardless, I trust Andrew Berry. I trust him to make the correct decision, make the decision that eventually will benefit us. Is he going to make the decision that I would make? I don't know, but I think that he is a superb GM, and I think that he'll get it right. Ultimately, I think that does end up with Amari Cooper being extended. I really do. I really feel like I think that this is just kind of, you know, some guys want to sit out camp. And you know, they want to wait, like Jadeveon Clowney did that type of stuff. I don't know as though Amari Cooper is that guy, but also when you've played as much football as Amari Cooper has over the past several years and been through as many training camps as he's been through, would you really blame the guy? You know, and you know, maybe by doing it, he ends up getting another $1 million, $2 million a year, you know, who knows? But regardless, I expect him to be a Cleveland Brown. I want him to be a Cleveland Brown. Yeah, man, I really hope we get it done.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. It's tough because Amari Cooper is 30 years old. He did just turn 30 because he was 29 the last time I checked. But, you know, this is a guy who was kind of thrown away, right? The Cowboys essentially was like, yeah, we just don't think you're worth it anymore. So guess what? We fleeced the Cowboys. I think that's very evident now. And as I just mentioned, he's put up back-to-back 1,000-plus yards a season. He's been here for 2 years. Again, 1,160 yards his first year, and then 1,250 his second year. And I think the key thing there is he hasn't had consistent quarterback play either, right? That's something that gets massively overlooked. And Amari Cooper's that dude. Amari Cooper is one of the most, in my opinion, underrated receivers in the National Football League. He is that dude. Should we extend him? I would say yes, as long as it's right. As long as the money's right and the length is right, I think you can make that work. Now, to what you mentioned, Tristan, I'm not giving him over 3 years just out of personal security, right? Because we've seen a lot of great receivers go downhill very fast. And, there are some players who have longevity in the NFL, and I think Amari Cooper is that good that he can remain at a high level. But, in terms of giving him a 4 or 5 year contract, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. But to keep him around, a 2-year deal, 3-year deal, yeah, absolutely I would do it. And I think he has been every bit worth of getting money from the Cleveland Browns. He's kind of been playing on nothing, right? He's not been making like rookie money or anything like that, but in terms of his worth and what he's done for us, he hasn't, in my opinion, been fairly compensated. I don't know if that's fair to say, but that's just my opinion. But, I think there's multiple ways that you can take this. Is you also have Elijah Moore up for contract. Elijah Moore significantly younger. And, we'll talk about this in the next conversation, but the Browns need to have some long-term planning here at receiver, and they have done, I think, a good job this offseason, right? When you look at the receiving core for this year, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman, David Bell, and then, to what we talked about, you take another swing at the wide receiver position in the draft, and you take Jamari Thrash. Right? Are you expecting anything big out of Thrash this year? No. Are you going to be expecting anything big out of David Bell or Cedric Tillman this year? Maybe. I mean, I don't think huge, but they're going to have a role for sure. For sure, Tillman is, given his size. But, Amari Cooper being 30 years old, you have to have a plan. And maybe the plan is, hey, we have our first round picks back. There's a lot of great receivers. We can just take one in the first round and not have to worry about it. Or you can make a trade. You can do whatever you want to do. But I love Amari Cooper. I think he's a massively, massively overlooked and underrated piece of this team. And the funny thing about Amari Cooper is, like, I don't know about you, he just feels like that uncle at a party, which you talked about with Freddie Kitchens, where it's like, yeah, I can be in my glory days. But no, Amari Cooper is still that dude, right? You think of him as such an old player, but he's still that good. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know why. So I don't know if I want to tell this story. I've never told this story on this podcast or not. I definitely haven't. Yeah, whatever. I'll tell it real fast. Anyway, talking about like just that old person reliving their glory days. When I was younger, I used to play basketball a lot, right? And this has been many years ago, so take that for what you will. But I used to play basketball like every day, and my mom was talking shit. And she was like, yeah, I used to be great at basketball, so I was messing with her, whatever. Well, let this be a lesson to you old heads out there. My mom attempted to play one-on-one with me, and I did not go hard at all. Like, I was going to take it easy. Tristan, I hit her with a quick little step to the right, step to the left, and she fell. and absolutely shattered her wrist. So let that be a lesson to all of you parents out there. Be careful when you're trying to be athletic with your children. Know how old you are. So just wanted to throw that out there. And inevitably, when I am a father, I'm of course going to do the same exact thing. You best believe when I'm in my 50s, I'm going to go to the hospital from being overly competitive with my children. It's going to happen. But yeah, I don't know how that ties into Amari Cooper, but yeah, he should stay in Cleveland. Anyway, what do you have to say on that, Tristan?
I don't know that has to tie in with Amari Cooper, but he should stay in Cleveland. Oh no, that's beautiful. Yeah. No, I think that you know, as far as like what would an extension look like for Amari, if I was the GM, I'd probably sign him to a 2-year extension, kind of rework the money for this year, make it so that way this year and next year he gets fully guaranteed money, and then that third year, you have him under control if you want to keep him, or if he's not productive, or you have a replacement for him, you can cut bait, and not have any lingering. You can't giggle, man. You can't giggle.
I was just thinking about it. I don't know what made me think about that, but like, I don't know. I can't process how Amari Cooper tied into that story. But
yeah, how did your mom breaking her wrist remind you of this Amari Cooper?
That's the thing. She didn't even just break it. She absolutely shattered it. And I felt so bad. Like, I didn't even do anything. Like, legit, all I did was just a quick step to the right, quick step to the left, never even touched her, nothing. Right? Just playing. And that was enough to break my poor mother's ankles, and she quite literally broke her wrist. That was... I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. Just because I was like, at the same time, listen, okay, this is going to make me sound like a terrible person, right? Okay.
I'm just imagining. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. This is gonna make me sound like a terrible person. All right. But there was a part of me that was like really worried because I didn't think it was as severe as it was. I thought she just fell. And we found out how severe it was, but then there was the part that was like the competitive side of me that was like, should have never challenged me, Like, it's just what it is, dude. I don't know. We need to move on.
Bro, I'm just imagining you do that cross and she falls over and she goes, "Oh!" and something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty accurate. I can't remember if I like finished the shot or not.
Just trying splash,
to yeah, just absolutely just yeah. Stand over. Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm just imagining like.
Sorry,
well, that's
Mom.
on the internet.
Sorry, Mom. This will probably be a TikTok clip.
Bro, it's the Kellen Mond thing all over again. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh well, she never challenged me. She never challenged me in a 1-on-1 game after that. Anyway, Amari Cooper.
All right, yeah, Amari Cooper. Oh, all right. So branching off of the Amari Cooper conversation, of course, there's another high-profile receiver that is looking for a contract. Yeah, please. I can't look at you, or else I'm gonna cry of laughing. Okay. So there's another high-profile receiver that is currently looking for a contract extension.